Every week on Bullseye, we like to leave you with a culture tip from me. We call it the Outshot. So I read an interview with Mackenzie Crook, who created the TV show Detectorists. It's about a pair of guys with metal detectors wandering through the English countryside. And Crook said that the plan originally for the show was to kind of mock the main characters. And, you know, it's easy to see how that would be the plan. I mean, there's something inherently pathetic about metal detecting. It's kind of a hobby for lonely guys who like electronic equipment and also, I guess, finding buttons. But that didn't turn out to be the show that Crook made. And honestly, I'm glad he changed his plans.
It's a hobby, that's all. Men have hobbies and women don't understand them. It's the way it's always been. I mean, how many female train spotters are there? How many women commit to an afternoon reorganising their vinyl in alphabetical order? Oh, you don't want to spend an evening with a beautiful woman just comparing comic book collections, do you? Oh, what you want is your partner to shake her head, roll her eyes and look at you and say, you and your hobbies. I'll never understand men.
Crook, if you don't know who he is, made his name as Gareth on the original version of The Office, the British equivalent of Dwight. Gareth wasn't quite the goofy sitcom frothy delight that Dwight was, but he was a little sweeter, a little sadder, and also maybe a little more unpleasant, if that makes any sense. Crook is a pretty amazing looking guy. He has this long, gaunt face, thin facial hair, and big, beautiful, arresting eyes. Because of that, he gets a lot of weird-looking guy work. I mean, he was a wildling on Game of Thrones. I think he was some kind of underwater skeleton man in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. My memories of that are hazy. He's basically the kind of guy who will always work as an actor, both because he is really good at it and because he just has an unforgettable face. But he isn't necessarily the guy you'd pick out of a lineup to be your leading man. And his co-star is an actor named Toby Jones, who I'm sure you've seen in something. He played Truman Capote in that Truman Capote biopic that wasn't called Capote. He's been in every kind of play on stage. He's been in 1,000 blockbuster movies. I mean, like every blockbuster movie. And he also is very distinctive looking. He's much shorter than Crook. He's sort of round-headed. He has a small nose, small eyes, centered in his face, almost the opposite of Crook's. They're a natural double act.
The idea of what is considered beautiful changes through time. Like, well, back in the Tudor period, you might have been considered really attractive. You know, scrawny, a beard and a hair. Stick a ruff around your neck, you could have been one of Lizzie the First's favourites.
Right, and how far back in time would you have to go before you were considered attractive?
Oh, no. My time is right around the corner. Within the next couple of years, I reckon.
But if you're expecting hijinks from these two mismatched dudes, you've got Detectorists read wrong. It's actually a quiet show about two quiet guys and about, you know, the quiet relationships of normal human beings. Crook's character is married with a baby, and his relationship with his wife feels both genuinely loving and also a bit tenuous, like they're both trying to figure out all along if they're sitting right in their partnership.
Hello.
All right?
Yeah, you?
Yeah. You're late.
Yeah, I went to the pub.
Oh, which one?
The Brewers.
The Two Brewers.
Yeah?
The pub on the corner of our road.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, I should have phoned.
And while Jones's character has a bit more bluster, it's pretty transparent bluster. He's a lonely man. I mean, he lost his wife to a flashier guy, and he tends to his Triumph Roadster like having a Triumph Roadster was really much more impressive than it actually is. So it's these two guys and a few more local weirdos in a Detectorists club. They will correct you very quickly if you say a Detectors club. And they meet up at the community center, and then they're down at the pub drinking after their meeting, and then they head out on weekends to pursue this solitary, quiet hobby. Actually, the scenes in the fields where they do their detecting are some of the most beautiful looking scenes I've ever seen in a TV comedy. The colors of the light play across their faces as they talk about quiz shows or Roman ruins or just, not much of anything. It's kind of beautiful to see this kind of friendship on TV. Lonely-ish folks who are looking for something but have also found something. And they know that what they have is odd, but, it's their thing.
Did you see the look on his face? I thought he was going to cry.
You shouldn't have taken his detector.
I couldn't help it.
Don't mess with Lance's metal detectors.
He's got more than one.
Legend has it he has a false bookcase that pulls back to reveal a secret cabinet full of them.
Yeah?
That's what they say.
So weird. Why do you hang out with them?
They're not weird.
Yeah, they are. They're freaks. You're relatively normal compared to them.
I like them. They're my friends.
There's an odd promise that drives the heroes of Detectorists. They want to find gold, but they don't really find gold. They find bottle caps, and they find boats. Boats being an acronym, by the way, for bit off an old tractor. But the show feels like an argument for the value of hope in our lives. And not even foolish, ignorant hope. Not that certainty that it's all going to work out. More like a quieter hope.
You ever thought about what kind of dance you'd do if you found gold?
Oh, no. It's bad luck to practice beforehand. Has to be spontaneous. Yeah, I've no idea what'll come out on the day. Well, I imagine it'll be exuberant.
Not too exuberant, though. Remember what happened to Derek Hoof?
Oh, yeah. Dislocated a hip.
It wasn't even gold in the end, was it?
Milk bottle top.
Embarrassing.
I mean, here's the thing. They're looking for gold, but they're also looking for history. And as the series goes on, we see the history once in a while. The Saxon hordes who trampled across the fields, the people who lived there before. And as we watch, the buttons and the pull tabs start to accrete meaning. They're not junk anymore. They're connections. If you let it sink in, Detectorists becomes a lot more than just a quirky sitcom. It's not about the jokes. It's about connections between plain people, love and friendship that you can actually recognize from life. I mean, take a glance at these two guys. You wouldn't think they're TV stars. But it turns out that their story is kind of beautiful.
Call it a day.
Go on then. Switching off detectors in 5, 4,
3, 2.
Hang on.
Wake up.
Jumping around between 50 and 80. Probably just a shotty. Look at that. It's a whistle.
It's lovely. Good job, mate.
What's that, military?
Nice. Hawking whistle. A falconer would use that, call his bird back. Does it work?
It's full of dirt. Hang on.
That's my outshot.
Pub?
Go on then.
Will you search through the lonely earth for me? Climb through the briar and bramble. I'll be your treasure.